my video stopped because my mom called and I clicked on it and I didn't hit exit, and now I have 2 videos instead of 1. So if you're seeing this video, it's because it's part 2 because I can't upload them together. So if you haven't seen part 1, go back to my channel and watch part 1. So the point I was trying to get at is like, the most selfless thing you can do is work on yourself. The most selfless thing you can do is love yourself. The most selfless thing you can do is focus on yourself, right? I understand that there are so many beautiful human beings out there that want to advocate, that want to heal, that want to support, that want to share, me included. And, you know, if you've experienced hardship in your life and you don't want anybody else to go through that hardship, it is a natural next step to share that with the world and create a space to do that. However, you don't need to do anything. But I find that if you're taking action from a wounded place, if you're taking action from a healed place, it's gonna change the future trajectory of whatever you're doing. And what I've noticed in seeing a lot of people express things is a lot of people are just coming from a wounded place because they're wounded, okay? And what do you do when you're wounded? You go to the hospital, you get care, you take time to rest, you heal. And so that's what, like, I believe this should bring about for people. Not should, but I don't want to prescribe. There's a lot of pain. And as a human being, I want to be able to feel that pain. I don't want to nullify or novocaine my pain because I'm a spiritual being. I don't want to be like, well, because this is what I believe, right? I believe that this needed to happen exactly as it happened because it's what we wanted, okay? And even though it doesn't look like what you wanted to happen right now, it doesn't mean that things that you want to happen won't happen in the future. It all is determined based on what energy you are putting out. And the pendulum will always swing. The pendulum will always swing, right? 2016, 2020, 2024. Oh, Now it doesn't have to be in 4-year cycles. It could be faster depending on how fast the momentum is. But I have that sense of optimism because I know how pendulums work. And I know that's just a weird niche knowledge thing to know. But like, most people have seen a pendulum swing or anything swing one direction to the other. It's an oscillation and energy is always moving. But so even though I do believe that I believe that this was necessary, that this is going to evoke really strong emotions that are going to propel us forward in a new way, that doesn't change the fact that it's extremely painful. It's extremely painful. And even though I'm not experiencing direct pain right now, that doesn't mean I won't, right? I'm just okay right now. And it is disappointing and I cried. It is hard to see hate prevail. It really is hard to see hate prevail, but hate is prevailing within individuals and it's propagated from people in power. So if you know in your heart that hate is not the answer, that division is not the answer, then you have an opportunity as an individual to show love and joy and peace in response to hate versus allowing the pendulum to sweep you up and continue hating, okay? So because people who were maybe very love, joy, and peace before the election might find it harder to be love, joy, and peace after the election. So ask yourself what changed and why that is. Because the outcome of the election is just a representative data point of like a litmus test of where we are as a country and as human beings. And remember, not everybody in the country voted. And remember that there were third-party candidates. And remember that there is a new movement of people who are identifying as independent because the two-party system isn't working for them, me included. So if you are sick and tired of division, if you are sick and tired of hate, why not say, okay, hate clearly isn't working. Let's try love, okay? Now, if you look at the face of somebody who has just been abused or sexually assaulted or something else that's horrible, and you say, you should love your abuser. I don't think that's good, right? No, not a good look. Not a good look. Now, that doesn't mean spiritually you don't think that this all happened for a reason. This was divine orchestration, and you know, they came here to experience that so they could go higher, right? That doesn't mean that's not true. But what it means is that person is a human being and experienced great pain. And by pushing that on them or by encouraging them to feel that way, all it will do is delay the process of healing, maybe build resentment, and ultimately it won't help their pain at all. It's going to perpetuate pain. So feeling spiritual, feeling higher dimensional or whatever, it's not all or nothing. It's not you're a human being or you're a spiritual being. You are both. And it's about the integration process, which is where I find myself. So that's why I find it really fascinating to talk about this topic. Because like on one hand, I identify as a spiritual being. And I'm like, whoa, how cool is it to be here right now with all this shit happening? Like, it's crazy out there. People are wild. Like, human beings are expressing themselves in like crazy awesome ways, crazy scary ways. Lots of emotions are being expressed. It feels like we're at a tipping point of life. Like, what a crazy time to be here and experiencing life. Like, we've never seen anything like it. And I can be joyous in that. I'd be like, whoa, life is so beautiful. There's so many contrasting moments. To be alive right now is to be so invigorated and energized. And I can't wait to see love prevail and step up. And I know long term, this is exactly what we needed. And just like the election had to happen this way for us to really do what we really want to do, right? I can have all those feelings, but I can also step outside or turn on the news and be like, ooh, 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 ooh. And to deny that the looks of things are ugly, to deny that the looks of things are uncomfortable, to deny that the feelings that are going around town right now are bad and there's a lot of hate, would be to deny myself and to deny you as a human being and to deny the world. So this duality, this paradoxical duality of being a human being and being a spiritual being is like, it feels sometimes like split brain, right? Like, and I've asked myself, do I have schizophrenia? All the time. I'm like, oh my God. And it's like, oh my gosh, no, I'm integrating. And when you're integrating, you're bringing all parts from all of your experiences, from all your theoretical learnings, all for me, my academic experiences, my romantic experiences, my spiritual experiences, and I'm bringing them all together. And I'm trying to create a more focused being that is me, right? Every day, more focused, continuous being by bringing all of my parts together to talk to each other and to see things for what they really are. And in order to see things as they really are, you have to be a clear channel and a focused energy, at least for me. Because like if you go to a function, for example, I don't know what that means. Excuse me. If you come to a function and you're like, I'm anxious, and then you walk in the door, you might feel like everybody's looking at you, but nobody's looking at you, right? So when you show up in a particular state, it's reflected to you in your environment. If you're socially anxious and you go to a function, you're anxious that people are looking at you funny, that they're going to judge your outfit and stuff like that. Maybe they are, but most likely they're not. And so that is not to deny your feelings of anxiety, and that is not to deny the truth or the reality of other people's reality, which is that they're not looking at you. And if you've ever experienced any sort of paranoia, like for me, when I was at my most elevated and least human or unembodied, I really was sensitive to airwave frequencies and radiation. Okay, so like I could feel Wi-Fi, I could feel cameras. Part of me feels that every day, right? Like we have like infrared sensors on our Face ID phones that flash every 5 seconds. I can't perceive that in my humanness, like I'm not focused on that, but part of me knows that that's there, right? Part of me feels infrared sensors. It's just not part of me that's connected. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to function because all I'd be thinking about is the fucking infrared sensor. So when you're paranoid, I used to be paranoid that like I was always being watched, but that's because I am always being watched. Like our cameras are always watching us. Like there's censorship happening all the time. It's just a matter of, are we tuned into that, or are we integrating that? And so for me, in order to function, I had to integrate that, and I'm still integrating that. But it's reflective. What we feel is going to, or what we embody is going to reflect back at us. So I was like scared to use my phone. I was like scared to do those things. I was like, oh, it's touching me, right? So that's what I see is like, it's marvelous and it's fascinating and it's so fucking confusing, right? Like when you're on this like precipice of integration like I am, and it's like, I'm a human, but I'm a spiritual being. I'm a human, but I'm a spiritual being. I don't want to let go of the fact that I'm human and just be a spiritual being. And I don't want to just be a human, because being just a human is extremely painful, because you want purpose. Everybody wants purpose. And human beings, because we exist in a temporal reality where we only really experience time, whatever the fuck that is, we almost need and we crave a higher power of some sort to give us answers that we can't access. And the funny bit of it all is that we have all the answers within us. It's not so funny. It just gets me every time. So there's so much to this. It's like such a powerful topic. It's so powerful, really. It's really just so powerful. But the duality is real. The duality is real. And if you're experiencing an integration point in your life where you're integrating a lot of things from your past, present, and future, just trust the process. Take a deep breath. You know, like I said, there's wounding, there's healing, there's integrating, and then I don't know what comes after that, because I'm still in integration land. I think that process will forever repeat itself if you ever have a wound, and I don't think we are immune to wounds just because we're spiritual. Okay. And yeah, so I just want everybody to know that if it's important to you, I did not vote for Donald Trump. If that's important to you, I know it is for some. I'm also a gay person, if that's important to you. I'm also a woman, if that's important to you. I also have a master's degree, so if that's important to you. In ecological psychology. I've also, done a hero's dose of shrooms, and I've also, been to therapy for years and years and years. I was also diagnosed with OCD and all of these other fun little moments that I don't identify with anymore. So I've really experienced a lot of different vantage points of reality and perception, and I've studied perception. So because of that, I'm just fascinated with it as like a hobby. Perception is fascinating to me. And as a human being, like I feel like a strong part of what motivates me is the curiosity I have for everybody's different viewpoint. And some people cannot tolerate other people's viewpoints, and maybe they're not meant to, it's just something that I enjoy. I enjoy having conversations with people because I trust and know that if they're talking to me, that they're at least somewhat loving and open-minded, even if they don't appear as such. And remember, we talked about in part 1, assumptions, right? Assumptions don't always serve us. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. So if you're making assumptions, make sure they serve you. And the assumptions that I'm making are that everybody's great. And that serves me because it makes me happy to think that everybody's great. And then I will let a person that's not great prove me wrong, right? I'll let like one person tell me that they are like, show me that let's say this. I would rather live a life where I believe in the good in everyone and then am showed that I'm wrong versus believing that everybody's bad. Because I would rather spend my time looking for good things than looking for bad things. And that's just something that I do. A good example, one of my mentors, Danielle Lynn, she did a video where she talked about how she used to go outside every day for a walk or something, and she would try to pick up one piece of trash a day as like part of her contribution, and just like kind of had that intention. And then when she evaluated and said, I'm not going to do that anymore, she stopped seeing trash. So it's like, if you're seeking things out, you will find them. So what do I seek out? I seek out love. I seek out joy. I seek out curiosity and open-mindedness. And in seeking that out, I will find it. And there will be times where I find other things, but I can be like, oh, that's interesting. And then keep moving. Because it's just like, I don't know. I just really strongly believe that my human superpower is being able to resonate with almost everybody. The most extreme of views I can really understand. It's not to say I will empathize, but I can understand. And that's a really powerful thing. And I work daily on not being triggered, not to suppress my emotions, but to integrate them. So, as soon as I become triggered, by something, taking deep breaths. As soon as I take those deep breaths, understanding and having compassion for my feelings. And then there's a whole process you can go through that I've tried to use over and over again. And I still get triggered. I still have emotional outbursts. Of course, I'm a human being, and I'm never gonna not be a human being if I'm here. If I'm here right now and I'm sitting here, I'm a human being. Like, hello, I'm a human. I can't get rid of my humanness, and I don't think we should. And so if you're having really strong feelings right now, feel your feelings and ask yourself, what's the most energy efficient way I can feel these feelings while like standing in my power, standing in my purpose. And remember, the powers that be want us divided. Okay, at the end of the day, we're all really not that different. I'm gonna be real with you. Like Trump supporters, Kamala supporters, independents, we're all not that different actually, and our lives are actually very similar. You know, we get up, we go to work, we drink our coffee, we hang out with our families and our friends, and we go to bed, and we do it every single day, right? Just in different fonts. And so and we also have different experiences, but the message is always like kind of the same. And I find that fascinating. And so I choose to focus on what we have in common, our humanity. And even if human beings don't feel like humans, because I know a lot of people are like, are you even human? To like people who look like they have no empathy, or people who look like they want, you know, pain and suffering for others, just trust that their time will come. Like, I believe in karma. Karma's a bitch, you know? Jojo Siwa said it, and so am I. So just trust that the pendulum will always swing. So if somebody's going to spread hate to others, that hate and pain, that if somebody's going to evoke pain in others on purpose, that pain will have to come back to them by the energy of the pendulum. Like, if you are giving out hate, it will come back to you, because you need to understand where it's coming from. You know, so trust the process. I know it's painful, and this is where I say, like, I really hope that people understand that I'm not just some spiritual being like fairy dust and all that stuff, because that's not who I am. I'm a human being, and I'm living through this just as much as everybody else is, but my perspective and my perception does help me navigate it with love versus triggered pain, emotionality. And everything that needs to happen will happen. So if you feel strongly that you need to say those things that you need to say on the internet and spew hate at the people that you're spewing hate at, okay, spew that hate, but know that you are not immune to it coming back to you, and it may come back to you even more painful than how you feel right now. So the best thing that I've done, and I think the best thing that people can do right now, is alchemize. Feel and alchemize, and trust. Feel, alchemize, and trust. And then take action from that place. And I say that all the time, but like, if you're an activist, if you're an advocate, if you're worried about the future of your culture, your humans, your people, your family, know that love is always rewarded. Love will always be rewarded by God or whoever you believe in, but also karmically, if you're like a Buddhist, love is always rewarded. And if it is not right now, it will be soon. And that's what I choose to trust. And by having that mindset, it helps my human self feel things easier. It makes my pain go away faster, because I'm integrating it faster, because I feel pain and I say, man, this is painful and it's so uncomfortable and I hate pain and I'm so mad and I'm so angry. Okay. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. I'm so angry. And then I write a poem. I make a video. I share my feelings, and I understand my feelings, and I get to know myself, right? You get to know yourself, your feelings, because your feelings are not coming from somebody else. We've all done a lot of healing work. Your feelings are not coming from somebody else. They're coming from yourself. So nobody can make you feel mad. Nobody can make you feel sad. You are feeling sad, and they catalyzed it, activated, evoked it. But guess what? People are just mirrors. So if you're unhappy with what you're seeing in the world, please look at what you are doing in your daily life and ask yourself how you can cultivate more of what you want to see. And for me, making these videos is fun for me, because I like to put out things that I'm feeling, because I know I'll get it back. And so then I assess, right? So somebody commented on my last video, is Hitler of value? And I was like, whoa, that's an interesting point. it shows me a version of what I've said, right? If I say every person has value, that comment has every right to question me. Same thing, if I post something about my political views on TikTok and they say, okay, well, we know you voted for Trump. Oh, that's a perspective that I don't have. And now I'm going to reflect and I'm going to share in a new way. And then I'm going to put out more of what I love, more of what I want in this moment. And then I will use how it's reflected back at me to grow and change in the direction of joy and love and peace. It's quite a beautiful, real, I love it. I'm having the time of my life doing this. The only thing that I wish, and I'm opening and I'm excited about opportunities in the future, is to host roundtable groups or host discussion groups to be able to build community that way and actually have live feedback, because I can post videos and then it's 2 weeks goes by and I get a comment and I get to respond, but in real time things move faster, and I love fast moving things and I love not wasting time. Not that this is a waste of time, it's just a slower time scale. I just love everyone, and I know that's so annoying to some people, and it's not that I feel bad for those people, because everybody's on their own journey and everybody's perspective is valuable, but I'm proud of myself that I've gotten to this space where I can feel pain and suffering and empathy, and also feel connected to something greater, and have this duality within myself, and constantly try to cultivate that and move through things in a positive way. I do it in my relationships, I do it in my friendships, I do it in my career, I do it in social media, I do it at work. I do it all the time, as much as I can. Alchemize, integrate, love, peace. Alchemize, integrate, love, peace. Feel, alchemize, integrate, love, peace. Feel, alchemize, integrate, love, peace. It's a circle of life. It moves us all, and the pendulum will always swing. So it's do you want to use the pendulum like a wrecking ball, like Miley Cyrus, or are you going to jump off of the pendulum and go, oh, look, a pendulum, and understand the aspects of the pendulum, so you can have a new level of awareness that can allow you to both feel things and trust that there is other things that are coming. Why not? Why not just have faith and trust that things are coming? I don't understand. It's not that I'm sitting on my ass and not doing anything. I think that's a different thing too. If people are I just trust that everything is gonna go well, but you don't take any action to make it better, then yeah, that's a little delusional, right? You have to actually take action in the direction of what you want in order for it to come. You can't just try and pray and manifest and not take any action. You have to combine your thoughts and your visions with your actions. And so if you are consistently reflecting on what you want and are consciously trying to bring it here, then it's inevitably going to happen. So if you want love, if you want love and peace like I do on the grand scheme, right, then I'm doing my best to integrate my feelings towards the direction of love and peace every day. And as I'm integrating my feelings of love and peace every day, I'm also taking action towards the direction of love and peace every day. Meaning, if I say something mean to somebody, I recognize it, I red flag it, and I'm why did I say that? And I reflect, and I'm I felt triggered and I said this mean thing, and that's not love or peace, and I didn't like that I said that, and those types of things. So it's you feel the things, you take the direction you take action in the direction of your dreams, right? And if your dream is a loving and peaceful world, do you really think that we're gonna get there by yelling at each other and telling us shit? Probably not. That's probably going to be the opposite direction of where you want to go. And maybe we have to go in the opposite direction. That's what it looks like right now, right? We went this way and now we're gonna go back this way. It looks like it's the opposite direction, but really it's just a slingshot. Think of it that way. Anytime you experience something negative, it's a slingshot taking you to where you want to go if you become conscious of it. Otherwise, you're just going to keep going like this. But that's what happened to me, right? It's I just kept feeling wounded and wounded and wounded and wounded and wounded and wounded and wounded. And then once I had the realization of this is something different, off you go into a new reality. You're going to have to deal with that one. That's a stressful one. I had to do it. I'm still doing it. All right, thanks for watching. I feel tired. I feel like I've said everything I need to say. It's kind of like an apology video to nobody who needs it. Like, I'm apologizing to who? Nobody. Nobody feels attacked by what I'm saying, I don't think. But I want to like put it on the record that I'm not aloof to the pain and suffering of human beings. And like, I don't think I'm better than anybody else. I don't think I'm more dimensional than anybody else. Like, maybe I am, right? But like, I'm not touting that. It's just beneficial for me and it feels good to me. And I'm really proud of myself for being here because it's what's best for me. But what's best for you? Only you fucking know what's best for you, okay? So you know what's best for you. Do what's best for you. I'm doing what's best for me. And I'm proud of myself for where I am. I'm proud of the ability to integrate my emotions, to feel my emotions, to alchemize my emotions, and to heal. And I'm really proud of that. And I want to be proud of that. And I know that by taking care of myself, I'm taking care of you, and I'm taking care of my family, and I'm taking care of my girlfriend, and I'm taking care of my dog. Because when you are in good shape, only good things can come from that. If you are wounded, bad things can come from that. Right? Does that make sense? But only in a slingshot-like fashion. I hope that metaphor made sense. This is like just like free stream of consciousness videos, and I understand that they're not for everyone, and I don't like saying that phrase, but I understand these videos are not for everyone. And you're not everyone. If you're watching this, you're not everyone, are you? No, you are not. You are you. Congratulations, you authentic motherfucker. I love you. I hope you have a great day. If you want to connect with me in other ways, you can check out my social media at LanaJDL, Lana J. Dell. And you can email me, LanaJadeReads. If you have something strong that you want to say, if you are okay with saying something strong publicly, do it on my comments. If you want to say something strongly or weakly, or I don't want to say weakly, but like softly, sensitively, you can send me an email. And I'll leave some inspirational content below, as I always do. Okay. Have a good day. I love you. See you next time.